anything?
We've forgotten Martin Luther's dream. Far too busy deceived by old families and their dreams. So you ask no questions and I speak no lies. We're all born innocent. Yet to justify greed, this skin right here was made the crime. Thank you.
Word on the curb. Step into that centre, poet.
Let's take a moment just to give thanks for this moment here right now. Look at the trees, the way they dance in the breeze. My name is Jafaya, and it's nice to meet you. I'm happy to be here. Today I want to tell you that I am in everything. The voice of the bird when it sings. The harsh costs from the wasp when it stings. Liken me unto rings. The unbroken circle without ends or beginnings. I'm attached to it all with multi-dimensional strings. In out to thoughts of thoughts and things of things. Up in the sky without wings. I am the sky, and I am the truth, I am the lie. Always trying to separate, always trying to differentiate, because ego is inflated. The dark part which I am created, loved and hated, and even the fear is too overrated. I am the fear, the lesbian and queer, who can see past their own nose. I am in it all, because that's what I chose. Going to infinity, everything grows. The joys, the woes, love, fear, clouded clear, from front to rear, all seen and unseen, all clean and unclean. But who made anyone a judge of what is clean? Prophets or books of history won't unfold the mystery. I am is in you and me, unlocking of divinity, key after key. All I can see, I am exists. I'll even go what humans would call lower. I'm talking in shit and piss. Can a human mind comprehend this? The soul it knows, all that knowledge we've learnt to blows. How can it be true? They say the devil got a hold of you. I am says, I am your so-called devil too. Until one can see the oneness in the unblessed and blessed through pain and stress, trial and test, it will always be hard to manifest the world you desire to see, for not acknowledging every aspect of me. I am the roots and I am the tree, the leaves that grow thereon, the ground that they fall upon. Look and feel me everywhere and appreciate this moment, because that's the reason you came here, to live this yin-yang science. Moan or don't moan, groan or don't groan, be happy if you like, experience all aspects of this life. And remember, I am all colours, including your black and your white. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, Ricky Jafaya.
I am Anti No Filter, and I wrote this for anyone and everyone who has ever felt out of place, that they didn't belong, that they were a misfit. I often found myself screaming, yelling, wailing with my mouth closed. I couldn't defend myself from the offense I felt from the ignorance of this world. I often screamed with my mouth closed. So I gave my walk, I gave my talk, I gave my clothes a voice to speak on my behalf, without me having to scream. So can I be heard now? Or do you already assume what it is that I want to say? You see, my star has often been eclipsed by my blackness. And I was told to never rain on anyone's parade because people enjoy the sun. But I've cried raindrops that diffracted my light into rainbow colors, but black was never in the rainbow. So I graffitied on my skin, scars to show you that I can no longer be boxed in. I often screamed with my mouth closed, being different. But everyone is different. But we all feel so pressured to be the same. You see, those who point out your differences are also different, but they hate on the way that you cannot be tamed. They are sheep. You are a lion. You are a stallion. You are growing horns on your head to pierce through the boxes they put you in. You are a unicorn. You are a myth. You are the reason that life should be celebrated. You are a gift. And I'm so sorry. that you had to create safe spaces and places where there was already enough room. Sing your beautiful song to a world so out of tune. Teach cannibals to stop feasting on your difference, but finding the strength to love yourself when they make it so easy for you to hate yourself for being different. They outnumber you, trying to be the same, ignoring their own difference, diverting attention onto you who was brave enough to be different. They fear you because how dare you be different? The world is miles behind your mind. If you learn to be loving, be tolerant, be kind, maybe this world could be different. What kind of millennial being would I be if I ignored the stardust sprinkled on my walks of life paved by the people before me? This pride of mine is celestial. People are too clothed in sheep's wool that you look at me like I'm extraterrestrial. But it's like Hollywood Boulevard the way I strut on these stars. You see, I'm walking on hard work, sacrifices, blood, sweat, tears, pain and anguish, and my pride ignites the torch that was passed on to me for me to shine my light and be me unapologetically. To live, to laugh, to love freely. You see, I do this because I can, because they can't, because some couldn't. I do this because some will allow it, and I'm lucky. I do it because some won't allow it, and that's fuckery. I do it because some still don't understand. I do it because if you hate me, goddamn, I will teach you to love me because I am a unicorn. Boom. I am a myth. I am the reason that life should be celebrated. I am a gift. Yes. I will prove that you cannot disbelieve me or not accept me, for I am here, I matter, and I exist. And I will scream with every voice of every brave being who died giving birth to my pride, because I often screamed with my mouth closed. How disrespectful of me. Anthony No Filter.
Woo! Anthony No Filter. Word on the curb, poets.
Okay, this piece is called Inner City Dunes. I walk these edgy streets of inner city life, past my undulated paths of inner city strife. Facades of rust and neglect of homes and shops unkept. The grime spits on the tension and turmoil, echoing is deafening, pulsating dissonances, giving birth to stifling discordances that reverberate in aftershocks that dull senses into submission. I write my fate in blood across the skies of time, and like Pharaoh's scribe I ascribe, and as I scribe I confront the crumbling edifices and consuming fires caught through my veins. I reflect and relive that pain. Entranced by the dim, distant inner city lights as they cast amorphous shadows of impending plight and otherworldliness and existential fight, battling against the deep blackness of night. Misshapen by inner city rhythms and rhymes, my body, my soul, and my mind reeling in the rubric that glues, spurned by the pejorative majority, exiled into an apartment. Stand and deliver your money and your life. You fight or you flee, you freeze or you fall into supinely toe the line in paralytic fear, bedazzled by fakery. Entranced in the inner city light, enshrouded in the city's toxic mist as it lazily lifts to the skies. You deep inhale its filth, gagging and convulsing. These streets of hustle and bustle, of vehicles echoing, of voices echoing above the din of traffic as vehicles bark and growl and hiss and whistle and scream and splutter, belching death into the rebellious atmosphere. People dashing helter-skelter, anxiously chasing knotted entanglements of life, swirling in vacant space, high on the never-never in anticipation of that right time. I exhale another dying breath, and ripples radiate across concrete edifices and gorges rupture into paved sidewalks. I flounder and I fall, lost amongst dense forests of glass-clad, cloud rising perpendicularly from the ground in boastful defiance of the natural order, commanding my skyline and concentrating heat upon my inner city beats. Robbed of voice and void of choice, spiraling in inane absurdities, streaming into eternity, corralled and cajoled until I'm just one more blot and escape, astride in all my nakedness. I inhabit the space that I have molded and shaped and await my inner city fate. Obscured in inscrutable opacity, language in unashamed two-facedness, halted in wind, blasted sands held in sharp relief, in contemplative mind, I transverse and navigate this inner city strife. I brace against its ferocity as diamond-sharp brains, born on mournful inner-city wind, strike deep, piercing the nakedness of my exposed flesh. I suffer a sharp, penetrating intake of breath. Each tentative step, murdered its eruptive quagmire, suctioning me down. Of bonds, of relations, of places, of memories, of thoughts, of feelings too. To spring and to soar, to heave and to buck, to deftly defy these inner city's constructs. It takes a village to raise a child, to care and nurture and be kind, to render free in creative endeavor of vibrancy and vitality, to smite the appetite of those most gravelicious, to quench the thirst of those most gluttonous, equipped to act with mesmerizing alacrity, unveiling the strident hypocrisy. Whose streets these are? The trenchant battle cry, arrayed against the citadels of power in an existential fight. Insatiable virulence of poverty and his best friend crying not far behind. Truth be told, I'm holding on tight for the moment of insight, locked and loaded as espoused in the annals of the Great Stairs. Truth unveiled, scorched herb desertification, the woes and tribulations of urban gentrification, radiating waves of denial of service attack, bearing caricatures, fawning at the prospect, educated to the nines, attracted by, oh paradox sublime of my inner city paradigm, nestled in a vitality that money just can't buy, to be constructively dumped and evicted out with, to be socially cleansed and ethnically excluded, to be deprived and defiled by the architects of archipelagos of glass clad, gleaming sentinel-like in their regalia, the shiny new dwellings towering over grime-ingrained, excluded communities, boasting the latest technologies, ergonomically and ecologically designed, ostentatiously festooned in the image of the uber-metis who gives not a jot of thought for the woes of the urban displaced communities as they go. As prices soar, the scramble ensues. The people dance a crazed skank. Affordable becomes called for beyond your wildest dreams. The native shackled and still it rises. These souls now washed, cleansed, and repaired. These souls now reserved for the freebile rich. Coffee cups and iPads in hand. Lycopad cyclists whizzing around and around, corralled into the density of my inner city sites. Insouciant in their pompous uniforms of arrogance, the sort of clout only money can bring about. Whose streets these are? The trenchant cry. The more communities displaced, never to be replaced, the sort of cloud only money can bring about. Its loyal hordes, the fodder that delivered, turfed out to the urban dearth, the wretched of this earth, now the wretched of my city, hog-tied in sandpits of duplicity. Thank you.
Okay, but before you do it, Fee, I just want to remind people, we are not on the stage with a microphone. You have to be louder, you have to have spaces between your words, and it's okay to abandon the poem halfway through if you come to a nice stop, It's not the same as being on the stage, So nice and loud, spaces between your words, maybe pause between a sentence, and spit your shit, Fee.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's Word on the Curb, right? Yeah. This is Speaker's Corner, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a poem for people that do not have a voice. They've lost their voice, they've lost their brain cells through dementia. Okay? So this one is called Brave, and it goes like this. I could sketch her face, a portrait. She is so still, statuesque, but without the mastery or steadiness. You see, she is a shell of what is and isn't. She is more of what she hasn't than has. A tragic victim of blasted brain, wasting away bit by bit, chipping at her edges and her core. It's not a pretty sight for a human being to lose their light, their inner glow, their soul. But her bravery is yet untold. Facing fear, losing years, memories, laughter, tears. You see the shell, a vacant stare, muddled words suggest she is not there. Are we just the brain then? Or something more, not just a tragic waste of life before? Should you meet her now, or as she declines. May I remind you, the difference is in your, not her mind. Please do not look superficially at incomprehension, incontinence, incompetence. Don't be scared or appalled. Please be sentient. We are not that different. We are born, we live, we die. You have yours, she has hers, life. But the difference is how we live it and how we survive. But to survive what she has, however she is now, she deserves golden medals, showers of applause. She deserves to be seen then as the brave woman she is, not just what she's lost. She is human after all, not just someone who forgot.
And listeners, if you hear something you like, encourage the poet by clicking or waving or filming him or smiling. It's good on film. Don't come ideas, spit that shit.
Can we come closer? This is like an intimate poem. It doesn't want to be. It doesn't want to be preached. It wants to be felt. Right. 30 years on this earth, and I'm about to carve the chicken for the first time. Where do I start? Which knife do I use? What should I do with the skin? Should I cut it into thick or thin slices? And should I try to take the meat from off them, or do I serve the legs intact? 30 years on this earth, that is 260,000 hours, and you never let me carve the chicken. Over controlling. I would go further than sheltering, about everything, even about these little things. But now, as you sit outside on your garden chair in the newly seen March sun, you seem indifferent, as if born again, although Dr. Farajai, the oncologist, says you may not have a year left to love. Have you lost your lifelong interest in these unimportant things as other, more important things have taken over? Things like sitting outside on your garden chair in the newly seen March sun? Or have you started to give up on it all? It's hard to gauge. It's a stage 4 tumour. It was from the very first scan, and due to its proximity next to the motory parts of the brain, now inoperable. Every time I see you since the news, I fantasize about how I could gently open up your head. And now, just like carving this chicken, take out that little bundle of cells that have grown so abnormally, that have made you this different person. I've seen different parts of you here, and I should be taking advantage of how you don't care about those little things anymore, those unimportant things which have dogged me and driven me mad for my 30 years on this earth. But here, stood alone in the kitchen, I'm starting to realize a lot of things. Things like how I would still one day like you to show me how to carve the chicken.
Woo! Good idea. All of us had a round, yeah? Okay, so I've noticed I have asked people to be louder. Are they being loud? Is this loud? You cannot talk as if the person is just next to you, because we're competing with the, with the other speakers. So we have to be louder. Please, people. Okay, you're next. Okay, well, this one, this is not for you. 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 Because this one's for the London lonely. For those who ain't got a one and only. Their hearts have no home, so they roam along the south bank. Look at them, staggered file and rank, eyes cast down and damp. This is for those who don't do eye contact. Because if they did, you'd feel taken aback, almost under attack by a sadness caused by delusions of lack. They're dotted around the city in their dozens and hundreds. This one's for the lonely Londoners, the West End Wanderers, the Soho Stumblers, with chat-up lines on pieces of paper, conversation starters, might come in handy later, but this one's for the hesitators, the social life procrastinators. I mean people, you know the 3-second rule, yeah? If you see someone you like, you gotta go in straight, get a date, don't hesitate. When you hesitate, you seal your fate. He who hesitates, masturbates. This is for those who daily delete their internet history, and how they've ever even had a love life is a mystery. Oh, this one's for the London lonely, the ones who feel they are the ones and only, who's ever felt like this, who never ever felt it would come to this. They're the love song mumblers, the romance blunderers, so steeped in solitude, perhaps a cat at home, hardly speak to anyone, perhaps a cat's got their tongue. But this is for those whose minds ain't so sound. Or maybe they are, we just need to come around. But you see them, they wander around and up and down like they were happy once, and as if looking for the source, they go back and forth, on Oyster cards topped up with a couple of pounds. This one's for the London lonely underground. On the Circle line they go round and round. This is for those who mind the gaps. This is for the night bus insomniacs. This is for those who often hear, excuse me, this bus terminates here. And this is for those on the edges of town. And this is for those on the edge looking down. Look, no matter where you come from, this is for those who feel they don't belong, who dine alone so they hunger as they plunder the depths of their disconnection with all that is. All that is the delusions of loneliness. You know that all is well, that nothing is amiss, that all they need to do is to follow their bliss, but they cannot get a whiff. Oh, so you got an exhibition to see at the Tate Modern, because you got invited by that person you fancy like rotten. Then later on at Wagamama's, you got a table booked for 8, because you got loads of mates, and you got a birthday to celebrate. You got people to see, and people to do. Well, this ain't for you. This is for the London lonely, for those who ain't got a one and only. Their hearts have no home, and so they roam. Thank you, this is Word on the Curb. This is Stephen Watts. Stephen, you ready to do something? Yeah, go do a little thing, please. Famous poet Stephen Watts. Nice and loud, I know it's difficult. Come closer. If you hear something you like, click, it looks good on film, smile, nod, mention Word on the Curb, be loud. That's all right, that's cool. Thank you for coming. Nice round of applause for the next poet, please. Where would you like this, sir?
That's fine. So this poem's about Frida Kahlo, who was
So it's about who?
Frida Kahlo.
You know who Frida Kahlo is, people? You ignorant motherfuckers!
No.
You're gonna find out who he is.
She was a very wonderful Mexican artist who had polio and also had a road accident, so she had a very difficult life, but she was a superb artist, very beautiful, I mean beautiful spiritually. I should have worked as a porter in a remote hotel or at the night desk of a Dower Metropolitan Hospital. I should have driven lorries before dawn down the arteries of a weeping city. I should have handled tube trains into stations like squealing pigs. I should have worked in a laundry or navigated as a foreman of a brickage troupe. I should have been a laughter clown or trapezed my life up your wide sistering streets. But for now I just live on a sorrowful planet. That line is from one of Frida Kahlo's letters, but now I live on a sorrowful planet. I should have gone up before dawn and gone to the mosque to the women's entrance being a woman. I should have ported in hospitals or given singing lessons in oncology. I should have run backwards up moorland meadows and gone raving over the Blackberry Hill. I should have closed my eyes in the face of the oncoming tides, in the face of the patinas of no. I should have tortured my nerves on the rage of exhausted ligaments. I should have belly danced under genomes or taken the cholesterol count of stem cells. I should have looked at myself in the eyes of a monkey and the eyes of a dog. I should have tied yellow ribbons on walnut branches. I should have let myself collapse in the apricot valleys in the highest mountains. But I did none of these things. I painted the sun as source of all energies, the rampant goddess as swirl of life, the dog of my dreams, the snake in my breath which is just completely gone. So thank you very much.
Woo! Thank you. Yes, give the poet some water. Okay, so it's a bit of an open mic as well, so if you've got bars which are like under 3 minutes, but please, Sue. Mama Sue in the house, on the streets, word on the curb, collective.
I'm going to be trying to be loud, but I'm not actually that loudly spoken, so it's a piece called Lives Not Knives. As I drove me and my beautiful baby girl towards the evening of seriously great and beautiful beings, about to breathe life into their words and share their flow. A disturbing scene to the left caught our eye. Police cordons, people looking on frantic. Caution, forensic test. Another victim laying murdered, hidden not so discreetly and yet sadly neatly out of plain sight in broad daylight. My heart sank and my throat was choked for. How many more of our poor little boys gonna lose their fight and lose their life, all because they're foolishly choosing to carry a knife? I found my mind reeling with a truly sickening feeling as I recalled that day way back when. My oldest son could have lost his life before it even barely begun. He was 13 at the time, stabbed in the back of his head, a centimetre away from nearly dead, and slashed across his arm and his shoulder. A boy not even remotely old enough to understand just how close he came to seeing stars and being prematurely sent forth to bang on the gates and wait for his halo and wings. My little king, almost stolen from this here earth to join the other bulging tear-filled clouds that oh so sadly now darken way too many broken hearts. But he was lucky and so was I, because he got stitched up and got to grow up well. Almost. Maybe. Really. Somewhat. But sadly there's still too many foolish men who seemingly believing that this and that is all that's going for them. What do you know about the streets, Mum? He brashly asked, and without hesitation I begin to explain just how many friends I've pursued and lost, and how much pain remains, and how much sadness in my heart and lives that only ever got to start. But unwritten futures, because futile views cause big gaping wounds that brought them crashing down. Breath and heartbeats. Never again. No sound. Live by the sword, die by the sword, son, I tell him. Truth be heard, it's absurd. Trust is not scorn, but be warned. We need to show our boys love and encourage and empower them to embrace this their life and reinstill self-worth and self-love and love of life, because way too many of our young ones stolen away, now laying cold, and way too many families left with big gaping holes with stories started, yet now departed, and chapters only merely scratching the surface of life, with all so many more to go. But now, agonizing there be, no more words. So you see, I wish so bad for my aching heart these youths, our future would just believe and truly see the beauty beneath unwanted scars, screwed up faces, angst and hatred, postcode wars unjustly caused by a system that's wrongly branded them within a box that no one need be in. Please, I beg of thee, take a step back and really see. Look deep within your hearts and have faith in your abilities. Now ask yourself this one dark question. What am I willing to die for? Now flip the script and see a blessing and ask yourself another question. What is it that I want to live for? You feel the difference? It's time to stop allowing the mind to burn, twisted and torn, battered and worn. Distrust, feeling lost, abused and abandoned, futile thoughts, anger, furiously fueled from systematic rejection. Well, fuck that shit and screw the system. Let's come together, stand up and uplift our young kings. Tell them firm, straight but soft, filled with compassion, faith and love. Stand up, rise up above it all. Feel nothing other than your own downfall. Open up, be free. Release the tension seemingly gripping slipping too tightly, stricken in delicate souls from expansion. There's a freeing, undeniable blessing in opening honesty, bearing a soul. Let out the hurt, allowing the light. Once and for all, please put down the knives. Instead I beg, pick up a pen. Let ink be the only thing to stain skin. Because our words are, without question, the mightiest of all weapons.
Mama Sue, spitting that shit.
Will you guys come in a bit?
Come closer, Burning Poet's about to say all the things. Say those things, Bernard.
This poem is called I Survive.
Can we move away? This man's talking while we're talking.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
We're in a bad spot. This is a bad spot, isn't it?
yeah, let's move over. Sorry, let's move over.
Yeah? Please spot.
Can anyone speak Spanish? Anyone speak Spanish? No.
Okay, great. You know, I feel
Right, I start again. Hello everyone, my name is Burning Poet. I've got a poem for you all today. This poem is called I Survive. One for all, and all for one. I am we, and we are one. If it were his will, would we not have died? Because their weapons kill at range. We should believe their lies. The earth is for all to share, not just one tribe. And yet despite all their killing, they still have not got the mind. I stand eyes fixed like a bird of prey, focus solely on my aim for, like the rose that grows in the wall, I survive. And though the nights have been black and bitter cold, my roots run deep and crack stone, restricted to grow in a fashion not designed for my soul. In concrete, squalid, damp and mold, I survive. In project shanties, war-torn zones, many live in trauma after seeing flesh torn from bone. Even denied justice and driven from homes, I survive. Out of fear and greed, they plan our demise. Countless genocides, and still we rise to excel and stand tall. Under the grace of God, we dance and sing through it all. The wicked are sweat hard, but we refuse to fall. Keep the grass cut, and we'll see those serpents crawl. And as this blood courses through my veins, we will not fail, on that I pray. I swear an oath to rise and fight to my dying day, for I survive. Many fun pages we've passed through to uncover the secret that resides as truth. The many long roads this message has trod, an ancestral calling blazing in this burning poet. Across continents it warily trod, through rain, shine, sleet and snow. An epic spiritual journey, we've seen it all. From empire builders to the lowest of low. That good seed is back, can't you see our glow? For one sweet day, we will survive. Thank you.
Right, this one's for women. This one is for everyone who has been labelled a slut, a whore, a bitch, or a hoe.
That be me.
Powerful pussy. You see, beautiful cunts. Boys and girls, we need to watch our mouths before we label women sluts. Because half of us are only here because our mothers and fathers, they just wanted to fuck. But that's the power of pussy. It's life that brings life, and I don't want to be the one to tell anybody that your mother had you without being somebody's wife, so watch your mum. You should watch your mouth. You see, slut shaming is you admitting that you're insecure about the fact that you're no catnip and kitties hiss when you come to pet. You jealous dicks, you're just mad that the hand is the only beat you get. Because these sluts are so strong, like look how she struts, holding the world between her legs, Venus to Uranus. the universe in her uterus. You see, woman, you are deliciously incredible. Your middle like Skittles, a confectionery edible. Factory like Willy Wonka's, making men go bonkers. Willy Wankers, shooting stars at the sights of your wonders. Everyone wants to know your secrets. And who you tell is no one's business. The gatekeeper. You control your own flow of traffic, and who you let in and out of your world, let no one tell you different. Because they will try and shame and call you names, but let's reclaim, let's redefine, never be defined by the words of a man used to bring you down to their size. But size doesn't matter, right? So why do I hear men talking about vaginas being too thick and walls being too wide? You see, things appear larger to people smaller in size. And she can't help that your little rocket fell out of orbit, that's lost in space, mission aborted, pussy. Don't cringe at these words. Men, don't be insulted to be referred to as a pussy, a cunt, or a vagina. These words should make you feel rather at home, because pussy brought us life, and pussy kept us safe, and pussy is a great thing to be inside, or
If you agree.
so I've heard.
Okay.
Sluts, bitch, whore, ho. They apply more to some of the men that I know. They're not exclusively female. Let's talk inclusivity and see how quickly these words become cherished titles. Like dog, player, my nigga. Words used by men to make themselves feel big, but words that women use to make themselves feel bigger. See, woman, you are a powerful pussy and an even more beautiful cunt.
I am Shahid. Man, like actually no filter. Who's this man? Who is this man? I am Shahid. Word on the curb, speaker's corner, spit that shit.
Where there's a will, there's a way to win. Where there's a will, there's a way to win. Where there's a will, there's a way to win. Where there's a will, there's a way to win. Where there's a will, there's a way to win. Work and play to win. Knowledge, God, the greatest thing. Is how come we bypass the greatest, looking the latest thing? Is this the predicament that history has placed us in? We, the wafer thin, chase paper king. Money don't make it king, nor does it bring the happiness that they say it bring. You know the shout, mouth open, story fly out, we taking in. Thinking like a slave ain't gonna change a thing if we can't start until someone else says begin. Free from chains and still can't break the link. How the hell on earth we expect to escape the brink of extinction? Let us face the fact that we're afraid to think that there is more to life than scrape and scrimp. So, life becomes bitter and dry like the taste of gin. Anytime we take shortcuts, police take our prints. Whether for lesser or greater things, look at the state of things, look at the state we in. Minor virtues, major sins, a cold reflection of a system we raised up in. What will be the shape of things to come? If we ain't razor sharp, we'll be razor thin. We can turn it round in the time it takes to blink. If we can't see the kingdom, it must be a place within. I am Shahid.
I am Doc Shahid.
Doing?
Duncan ID.
All right. Can we get in a little closer? We move in. This is
Duncan, please
another
be
intimate
loud,
one.
brother. Please be loud. We
I
want to
will, I
hear
will.
your voice. If you hear something you like, what do?
Click.
Let's have a little practice, everybody. Have a little click. Okay. You might need to wet your finger.
Freud, in his work The Oedipus Complex, postulated that in the subconscious of the son, there exists a deep hidden desire to replace the father and to take over his role. My father's moustache lies in a small pile spread on our bathroom floor. Miniature wigwams of hairs lie like tiny flawed totems. 29 years of my childhood about to be swept up. 7 weeks into his treatment, and he has not been himself. His hands now too weak to hold the shaver steady, a gradually depleting effect of the illness, the nurse said. I was asked by my mother to help trim my father's beard. She said it might make a nice bonding experience. I took advantage. Halfway through the job, I point the shaver at his top lip and say, do you want this bit doing too? Not even daring to name it. His moustache, that perennial emblem of 35 years. Yes, he says, like I knew he would. He says yes to almost everything these days. Yes, I say, you want this bit doing too? Yes, he says, staring back into space. 4 quick swipes with a new Wilkinson sword, and it's almost all floored, falling without a fight. I was not asked to cut off my father's moustache. I was not meant to cut off my father's moustache. Why did I cut off my father's moustache? I bring to mind pictures of several grand and dictatorial moustachioed figures. I imagine them with their distinguishments and facial hair, and then I try to picture them without. I cannot. Each one of their images seems somehow intrinsically linked to their individual facial totems. I had just removed from my father this one prime defining attribute of his status. There naked, his lip looks disarmed, disempowered. An upper lip we all thought, given the circumstances, he had been keeping remarkably stiff. Without his camouflage, now gave away far more fragility than my past could ever have assumed possible. But, hang on. No, I keep catching myself looking too hard into things recently. My father lost his strength a while ago, about 7 months ago in fact. And although in his way he has kept on fighting, given the family gardening instructions from his chair in the March sun, trying to retain power and control of his life in little ways, shaving off my father's moustache had nothing to do with him losing his strength. I had not removed from him his one prime defining attribute. I would never go so far as to say there is some silent handing over of any sort of roles either, but it has shown me how all of this has changed me.
Duncan, don't like it for word on the curb.
Can I just do a shout out for a night that we've got called Turn for the Verse?
Very quickly.
Turn for the Verse / throw it at the poet. Look it up on Facebook. It's a poetry slam. There's some fucking amazing poets here, and it's a 50 quid prize. So come and chat to me if you want to be a part of it.
Chat to him in the break.
Turn for the verse,
please.
throw it at the poet.
This one's called Thoughts of My Own. I cut through the tensile steel. Its burning flux and molten pools atomize the mind shackles that confine me.
We want to feel his breath on our chins.
I cut through the tensile steel. Its burning flux and molten pools atomize the mind shackles that confine me. And with rebounding unleash, I reach within, wading through violable space, bits by eviscerating particles of my psychic density. I surge through my Van Allen belt of foreboding, strapped by caricatured metaphors, bombarded by delusive narratives that precipitate into the tangy salt of my sensibilities, that flavors the seas of my essentialities, that unveils the obscurity and tautness of skin-tight shadows that blind me into an occluded anticipation that roots in an anesthetizing, enclosing claustrophobia. I reach across the precarity of the frayed, rickety rope bridge that spans the chasms of the profound canvases of my life on which the narratives and metaphors grow. Below in the stony, grey-grain gorge, below where the screaming intensities of rumbling pyroclastic flows vaporize resistance and erupt in balls of plastic plumes that asphyxiate self-thought and consumes the microspaces of my brain. My every sinew restrains to find my presence, but finds only pummeling storms of streams that barrage in daggered words, words of necrotic narratives and miasmic metaphors scattered through refracted lights. The blood vessels pattern in fractals, the blood vessels bulge in my head and pattern in fractals, whose spidery wake contours my temples. My panther spirit stirs. Its silhouetted shadow stealthily struts, its emerald eyes penetrate into the dark, fang jaws roar, growling and hissing through the mind shafts of the labyrinthine catacombs of my subconscious mind, dizzied by the corrosive breath of those noxious narratives and psychosis-inducing malign metaphors. My unfound selffulness rakes through the unbounded nihilisms that ignite my incandescence, whose glows flicker and waltzes its way across the claustrophobic shadows of my bereft sensibilities, oscillating in convective resonances of malevolent myths that slalom through the twists and slipstreams, the convolutions of my mind in shrieking gusts of nothing. I search the dark, I find voice, now stirred, my spirit shivers and shimmers and sheds this pungency into its lair, at ease with its ominous elegance, its sculptured beauty, haunched in heroic arrogance, sentinel-like. It guards myself and rewards me with thoughts of my own. Thank you.
Poet a singer.
Word on the curb, miss bittersweet. Word on the curb, miss bittersweet. And this one's called Dear Darren. Dear Darren, chest to chest as you lay on top of me. So much heavier, but the elation of this moment has made me forget the concept of weight, time and gravity. Eyes gazing, lost in affection, as I feel your erection. When I said I needed a man to raise me up, you removed all my contaminated ground caused by past transgressions and laid a foundation for a tower block of love. And then she came along. I hope you suffer in ho hell. No better place for a bitch who's a friend of a couple who would sleep with him just to excel. How could you deceive your grey matter into thinking this was acceptable? Like a visit to a doctor, believing with someone else's prescription. His D made in harmony from my soul was now your new addiction. It wasn't like you didn't see clearly, because our friendship was the windscreen and I was the wipers, so you could see clearly. Forget the Netflix and chill, I'm about to CSI and kill this bitch with a pen and paper. Look how I forced her to penetrate tears, I guess I pen raped her. I guess another pen will die today as I express my pain. Did he tell you that I wouldn't give him head because I wanted him to respect me, not just sex and accept me? So well done for all the naughty tricks that you taught him in bed. Let's hope whatever he's given you doesn't stop you from having future generations. You see, you're the baddest bee in the streets, but you're a misfit as a woman. Your pussy is a trap house that fiends come in and out, leaving deadly deposits. Your biggest weapon is your clits. Either way, any man can bang bang. See, what I don't understand is how you could deceive yourself into thinking, What I don't understand is how you could leave me for a cat D. Everyone knows there's so many times that you can fix a cat D before it's a total write-off, and her pussy was a total loss. So well done, Darren. I hope you and her will be very happy. By the way, I aborted your baby. I didn't miscarry.
Can I do... This one's a sensitive one as well.
Nice and loud, please.
I might not be able to because it's sensitive.
It's sensitive. We can do sensitive loud.
So, because I tried to just then and it was shouting.
Okay,
anyway,
yeah.
it's a bit
Doesn't
long.
matter.
It's a bit long.
Okay. Are we listening, children?
Okay.
Yeah, we got to listen. Yeah, you're listening? All right, she's listening. It's all good.
It's about my mum who passed away 20 odd years ago. I can smell you. Smell your scent. Has it lingered in limbo, or is it heaven sent? Would you secretly arrive by my side to let me know you're safe, you're fine, by sending olfactory impulses through my nose and into my mind? I don't know why I have so few memories of you. I try to remember, tearing pieces of hair from my head in my attempts to patch together that relationship from torn up bits of memory into a collage of you and me. Let's see, how does this go? I remember you sucking my fingers warm when I was cold when I came home from school. I remember you putting the videos on or an afternoon film, and I used to lie behind you and cuddle you and smell the space between your shoulder blades where I felt so safe. I remember how you tottered around in your
totter around in your heels, that clippity clip on the ground and your tiny legs and ankles. I remember you were flat-chested, disproportionate to your hips, so you stuffed tissues in your bra and also, in case you sneezed, in the space in your jumper near your wrists. You were always complaining about your weight, saving that chicken tikka overnight or leaving half portions on your plates, but your waist was always slim, and I remember being head height there. And as I grew, my arms continued to wrap around you. I remember asking you what constipation meant loudly in a shop, and also asking why you'd gone so red, not realising it was the menopause. We never really managed to take it in turn, this embarrassment, because you died so young before I could return the favour as a traditional rite of passage between a child and a mum. I remember your birthday cakes, how you'd use wholemeal flour and reduced sugar, how you'd claim our butter was butter when actually it was margarine, how you'd scrub the kitchen floor on your hands and knees, and how in your heart you were split between your Indian and your British identity. I remember your excitement when I got my first red rose, and also my A-level results, even though they weren't as good as you dreamt or hoped. But I really hope I didn't let you down that time, and all the times before and after. I wish I could say sorry for my wrongs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I could undo the past and have you back in my arms. I hold onto these snippets of a memory with a grasp so strong they break. They slip through my hand like grains of sand, faint as flecks of dust, and I just can't remember you. And my heart aches. The most recent memory, the one still strong, is you lying on the floor, black liquid pumping out of your mouth as we pound your chest once more. I'm so sorry I left you lying, dying there whilst I lay in my teenage music blasting out, and I wasn't there for you. I don't know if I can ever forgive myself. God knows I've tried, but as I write out these words, the pain and blame is still stuck inside. I try to find bits of you in some obsessive, pathetic way. I hold onto your lipstick, your t-shirt, even your coffee cup tray, because my memory is so fucked up. And these are the only things that are real, permanent and true, and it's been so long since I saw you, and I really need to feel you. I go to clairvoyance to have our annual chat. But why can't you come to me directly? You're my mum. Why can't you see that I've been through hell and back these years? I've tried to keep it together, but really, I just want you here. Do you see my boy? He's just turned 3. He's gentle like you. Do you like him? Are you proud of me? Can you talk to him? Do you whisper in his ear? Children see spirits until they're 5, I'm told, until that sixth sense disappears. If you do speak to him, please, can you tell him what I really need to hear?
Bravo! Beautiful!
Step in, and then I want Richie to come in.
Whoa!
Okay, my name is Jafaya. I'm here to tell you today that I don't want your bling blings or your material things. I want something that's real. So give me something that I can feel.
Nice and loud, please.
This energy is rip-rending, it's bending, it's descending and ascending. It's uncomp and it's comprehending. Destructive forces are mending and amending. Pour empty full cup to all sending. Unfriending, befriending. No sight of a beginning or ending. Close to open up and sing. Giving, taking, breaking, making. Chaotic chaos, painstaking. From the roots shaking, gyrating, vibrating, deflating, elevating, flying without wings, the relevant relevance, fruit of thoughts, and things of things, an unbroken circle like rings, and it rings, and it rings. Spoken words of pains and sufferings, manifesting, unmanifesting, it's always a blessing, a blessing, a blessing, a multi-dimensional string on a guitar from Pluto to Mars, Mars bars, fat whips and cars, supernovas and stars, tra-la-la-la-la, spiraling, circling, potholes and hurdling, curling, twirling, pull back and get hurled in, inhale and exhaling, patiently prevailing, like on a ship sailing, rough and calm seas, breathing positive influence, comprehending magnificence, understanding, overstanding the science, the love, the violence. I am that lyrically, alchemical, mystically magical, spitting shots to your heart like a fine art, nursing and bursting, lighting up your chakras. Got your kundalini pacing and racing all up in your structure. Call me a divine doctor, going to work like surgery, rewiring, reconnecting up those memories. I've been sent here to remove fear and make a way clear and set those minds free like the air. Seeking, searching for materialistic things, cash money, gold rings and bling blings. Divine love is what I bring. Spitting bars from Mars and all kind of stars as I sing. Deeper, higher, vibrating. The essence of my presence intelligently interrogating. Pumped up, never deflating. I won't jest, I'm on a quest to bring these elements into sequence. This energy potent and immense, tearing down all barrier and fence. And now the blind see, and yes, they see sense.
Woo, Richard! You ran out of storage.
I'm just going to speak my mind aloud.
Do it loud, brother.
If I was to ask if you believed as a young man, every time I saw a young lady, I'd tip my hat, and you replied yes, I would truthfully say to you that it is not true. Then should I not approach you in time from a baseline, which is a position that we hold to tell the true stories that have not been told? Back to the new and forward to the old, and there we'll watch our truths unfold. Then if I had to approach you for the first time, would you be so kind as to ease the pressure from my mind's eye? See you as you once were in Kemet, is where I believe we first met. Was it not you and I used to travel the universe, lost and found in that one infinity where our tangibilities were not limited to the physical? You see, sensory feel is what we first knew. An old adage says, 3 strikes in a ball, games we don't play in moments of passion, pledges of undying love. Will you call my name in vain, or will you just call my name? Who owes who and who's in debt? And if by chance we gambled, who laid the first bet? She said you wanted to be with me, you know. Take me to the dance hall, take me to the petty bourgeois party, but I'm thinking about love all the time. But not the love of one girl, I said the love of all womankind. Said she's gonna put me on the front page. Take the world by storm, we're gonna sit down on center stage. A love supreme between you and me. Together we'd make the news and we'd also create history. But what should I care about this here stormy affair? You see, those love sacrifices, they were way back last year, but now it's time for us to come of age before our inscription shall read, we're victims of our own race. Abstract words, Hotep.
Woo! Man like Richmond True, spitting it for word on the curb. For who?
Word on the
who?
Word on the curb.
Okay, Stephen Watts, please. Stephen Watts is famous poet on the scene. Listen, I'll be the judge of that. If I say you're a famous poet, you're a famous poet. Okay, do what you can, brother.
All right.
I wouldn't trust this man to record your video.
He's very good, this guy.
I keep forgetting to press play, innit?
When you live on the 21st floor of a tower, away past midnight you hear a fracture of wings, and in the morning there's a colour dab on your balcony. Is that a dream? When you live on the 21st floor and you get home just at dawn from a party, or you've been working at the desk all night, The desk of words, I mean, and the mist you've travelled home through lies flannel just beneath your feet, so you cannot see the ground, and yet the whole sky is kingfishered blue. Is that also a dream, but is it not also the most real? And out of such skies came birds and came bombs. When you live on the 21st floor and you notice that in a crack in the cladding a few metres down, a kestrel has made her nest. And when you see that kestrel pinioned on its wing bone, sitting at ease in the middle air, shifting sideways on sudden gusts, its unperplexed ligaments ready to dive it through skies of reality, through torn webs of nerves, and when you catch the feather of the colour dove floating past your eye, is that not a dream? And is life only a dream? And language is broken down, language has been bandaged like the sun, like the bandaged sun, and we speak in chunks of betrayal words. Or when at eye level from your balcony you see black darting swifts mewing in the fine drizzle, turning their sleek bodies in the sun as they bite tiny insects simply for sustenance. Isn't that just a dream of life? Or the gannet that plunges down cliffs of light as a broke lift does down shafts of dark and breaks the surface of the curdled water, leaving its tongue's graffiti on the shoal beneath, having picked out just one fish for its gizzard and gullet. Oh, my toppled sanity. Oh, my Maytime market. Oh, my bridge of dreams. Or as a cormorant might fly straight into the sun, and either it will crinkle and fizz in the black heats, or else it will heal the sun's bandaged wound. For this is what birds know, though we no longer know. That's about half the poem, and I haven't got any energy to do the rest.
What's his name? Okay, Mama Sue's been listening. Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you so much for coming. Listen, thank you so much for coming. Huh? Okay, yes, so you've all been listening to Word on the Curb at Speaker's Corner. You've had some wicked poets, so yeah, what else can I say? I'm Uncle Errol. We're probably just going to fade it out now. We'll probably just do a few little pieces and fade away, yeah? Thank you. Thank you. Would you like to come and sing a song? Yeah. Yes, she says, yeah. Do you want to come? Come. Okay.
Come take over everything from your melody.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen. COE. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Man, don't even listen to ITV.
And they say, however,
man, don't listen to BBC.
They say his hands and legs
to ITV.
are hands and legs.
Man, just listen to COE. Man, just listen to COE. Man, just listen to COE.